This is the story of 19-year-old Alexus Watkins, a loving daughter and devoted mother to her son. Sadly, during a devastating family dispute, Alexus stepped in to protect her mom from her 16-year-old brother. Shockingly, in front of their mom and 13-year-old brother, he placed Alexus in a 15-minute chokehold that brutally ended her life. How could this happen, and what would make a family dispute escalate to murder? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Macon, Georgia. Macon, nestled in the heart of the state, is a charming city steeped in Southern hospitality and rich history. Macon exudes Southern charm with its historic architecture and vibrant cultural scene. However, beneath its picturesque facade lies a tale of tragedy that shook the community to its core. Alexus Brianna Atkins, a 19-year-old resident of Macon, Georgia, shared her home with her family, including her 16-year-old brother Kevon Watkins, her mother Latoya Watkins, her 13-year-old brother, and her beloved son. Alexus shared a strong bond with her mother, and she respected her mom for all the wisdom she passed on throughout her life. She shared a post on her social media account to celebrate her mother on her birthday. "Stop what you're doing and wish my mama a happy birthday. I can't count how many times I've rolled my eyes at the things you've told me about life, just to find out they're all true, and I can't even thank you enough for making me the woman I am, well becoming. So thank you for everything, Granny Panties." Cameron calls her that, laughing out loud. "I love you. I really do, and enjoy your day, beautiful." Alexus was full of life and energy. Known for her outgoing personality and zest for life. In a relationship with her high school sweetheart, Alexus openly expressed her affection through countless photos and videos, showcasing their love to the world.
Yeah, look who here.
The two would later get engaged. Alexus would become pregnant with her first child.
Nah, I ain't got my airport yet. I'm waiting. Cause my pains really ain't that bad. So I'm waiting. Okay. I'll be back, y'all. I gotta get asked some questions.
She would give birth to a baby boy named Cameron. She poured her heart and soul into being the best mother she could be, cherishing every moment and milestone with him.
Hey. Say hey. Say hey.
No, you dumb oaf. He wasn't dead. The cow that you had him plugged into was dead. So I
Together with her high school sweetheart, they formed a tight-knit and loving family, and Alexus eagerly anticipated the joys that each new stage of motherhood would bring. Sadly, Alexus's life would take a devastating turn on February 2, 2018. On this day, Alexus's 16-year-old little brother, Kevon Watkins, returned home from school and wanted to play his Xbox. He was angry when his game system appeared to be too slow. Attributing the problem to too many users on the Wi-Fi network, he decided to change the family's Wi-Fi password so no one else could use it. This seemingly minor decision ignited a series of events that would end in unimaginable tragedy. Kevon's 13-year-old brother realized what he had done and went to go tell their mother. After learning of what Kevon had done, his mother unplugged the internet router and went to remove his Xbox from his room, which made him even more angry. Kevon, now extremely upset, confronted his mother, trying to fight her. He pushed her away and said, "I don't want to hit you." As tensions flared, Alexus bravely stepped in, fearing for her mother's safety, as Kevon's anger escalated. Alexus grabbed Kevon in a bear hug and told him to chill out and to stop trying to fight with their mother. The conflict between Kevon and Alexus intensified, eventually leading to a physical altercation that spilled onto the ground. What followed was a horrifying turn of events. Kevon, in a fit of rage, subjected his sister to a prolonged chokehold, lasting an agonizing 15 minutes. The mother and the 13-year-old brother tried to separate the two, but Kevon threatened to harm his mother, so she ran to call 911. As she waited for police to arrive, Kevon continued to hold his sister tightly around her neck. When authorities arrived, Kevon still had a tight grip around his sister's neck. At this point she was unconscious, and her body was limp, but Kevon still wouldn't let go. Kevon's little brother had also called 911 on him, calling Kevon crazy. When he called, he said the following: "My brother is trying to hit my mother." The dispatcher asked, "Is he on medication?" And the 13-year-old said, "No. He's just crazy. He put her in a chokehold, threatening to beat my mom, trying to get him off my sister." Despite their mother's pleas and the arrival of law enforcement, Kevon refused to release his grip until ordered to do so by the deputies. Tragically, it was too late. After a 15-minute-long chokehold, deputies could not resuscitate her. Alexus was rushed to a hospital, where they were able to resuscitate her and admitted her to the intensive care unit. She was diagnosed with cardiorespiratory failure and anoxic brain injury, a condition resulting from a lack of oxygen to the brain. Despite efforts, Alexus suffered another cardiac arrest, leading to irreversible brain damage and failure of multiple organs. Tragically, she passed away the following day. The medical examiner concluded that Alexus's cause of death was anoxic brain injury, resulting from asphyxiation and the subsequent deprivation of oxygen to her brain. From the extensive damage to her organs, they determined that she was without oxygen for about 15 minutes. Authorities immediately arrested Kevon, and he was charged with the murder of his sister. Kevon waived his right to a jury trial and opted for a bench trial, believing that he would have a better chance if the judge heard the case and decided his fate instead of the jury. The trial, lasting 2 grueling days, offered a glimpse into the harrowing events that unfolded that fateful day. Testimonies painted a grim picture of a family torn apart by senseless violence and irreparable loss. Testimony from a deputy described how he found the teen choking his sister when he arrived on the scene. Kevon's attorneys wanted involuntary manslaughter, stating that Kevon was holding Alexus in self-defense because she hit him first and he didn't let go out of fear she would harm him. The mother also testified that Alexus hit her brother first, but throughout the trial, it became evident that Kevon's actions constituted felony murder, as he knowingly engaged in a violent act that resulted in his sister's death. The judge found him guilty on felony murder because his 13-year-old brother tried to get him to stop choking his sister, but he refused. Despite his youth at the time of the crime, the severity of his actions resulted in him receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
A Macon teen is sentenced to life in prison for choking his sister to death during a fight over a Wi-Fi password.
According to evidence in the case, in February of 2018, a then 16-year-old Kevon Watkins was arguing with his mom because he changed the Wi-Fi password to play video games. His sister Alexus stepped in and then started fighting.
According to testimony in the case, Kevon placed his sister in a chokehold for about 15 minutes. Deputies say she was still in the chokehold when they arrived on scene. Alexus died in the hospital later that night.
The judge acknowledged that during the time Kevon had his sister in a chokehold, she must have stopped moving, but apparently the defendant didn't notice because he was still angry. As the court delivered its verdict, District Attorney David Cook expressed hope that justice would bring some semblance of closure to Alexus's loved ones. However, no sentence could ever fully heal the wounds left behind by such a devastating loss. As the sentence echoed through the courtroom, Kevon Watkins cried alongside his family seated on the benches. Before being escorted away, Kevon was offered a chance to speak, but amid his tears, he only spoke the words, "I'm sorry." During the investigation, Kevon Watkins disclosed that he and his sister fought almost daily. The judge expressed regret before delivering the sentence, acknowledging that the adults in Kevon's life had failed him by not instilling discipline or teaching him how to manage his anger. In this household, disorder was allowed to flourish, Colvin stated. In this household, the ability to ignore and follow corrective discipline was empowered. Judge Colvin also said that Kevon's case was a horrible example of what excessive and obsessive gaming can do to a person. She said that Kevon's addiction to his game and his disregard for his family's needs led to the tragedy. She urged him to use his time in prison to get help and to educate others about the dangers of gaming addiction. What happened to Alexus should have never happened. She was just trying to defend her mother from her brother's rage, and sadly, that rage cost her her life, and now a precious 3-year-old little boy is without a mother. An argument over a video game should never end in murder. My condolences to Alexus's friends and loved ones. Her memory lives on as a reminder of the preciousness of life and the tragic consequences of unchecked anger and violence within families. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.